Hello, wonderful people, and welcome aboard for another session of the course titled Academic Speaking and Presentation Skills. What are we going to learn in today's skills? Definitely, it's mastering meetings. Being a part of the meeting has always been, nerving, isn't it? Don't worry. We are going to study the very foundation of what meetings are. Let's see what are we going to cover in today's topic. First, we are going to see what meetings are and how are they going to be benefiting towards those who are the part of it, right? What is there for each one of us and what's there in our cups? Is it just tea or coffee or is it much more? Right? In the boardroom, in the various meeting rooms, in the conference rooms, and everywhere that we go into a meeting, it is important for us to identify different agendas of meetings. So therefore, after knowing what meetings are, we are going to go understanding different agendas used in different kinds of meeting. We are then going to learn different types of meetings that are there. Based on different agendas, there are certain variations that these meetings could bring. So therefore, it is important for us to learn different variations and different types of meetings that are held in any organization or at a workplace. We are then going to see the actions and the tasks that are performed in the meeting. So are we the one who has never spoken in a meeting, or are we the one who have always spoken and overspoken at a certain point of time? So this is the time which are the actions or the tasks to be taken or to be performed into the meeting room. And at the end of the session, we'll have a well-rounded summary of all our learnings together. So without wasting a time, let's move ahead with the first topic, what are meetings?
Meetings are generally a kind of purpose driven gatherings held to address specific objectives such as problem solving, brainstorming, or decision making. Right? Now, when we say that these are the basic purposes, it is not just limited to this. It is for an understanding. Many of us have all for now I assume that we have been a part of meetings. We have been a part of either core committees of your undergraduate universities. If not core committees, then you might have been participating, you might have been taking proposals to your principals or your faculties to do something, and before any of those things you might have gathered, call for people, might have asked for interpretations, you might have asked for their contributions, and with a purpose and aim you go and you address it to somebody else, right? So a gathering of people, in short, right? And that gathering is not a social gathering, that gathering is not gathering without any reason, right? It's not something that you want to meet today and just have a cup of tea. That is not called as meeting. When we talk about formal meetings, right, a workplace meeting, many of us might be working at institutions, right, or companies or organizations. It is, the key role of all of these places, formal places, to have a formal gathering. And with this gathering, they advance to different levels, right? So there are different objectives and there are different reasons of gathering the audience together. But however, it creates the whole purpose. The name itself, we know that meetings, right? To meet is, but to meet with a reason, right? Are meetings at a formal place. And therefore, these are, the key features that we need to understand, that meetings are done on a collaborative platforms. They provide an opportunity for team members to stakeholders to exchange ideas and perspectives. Why do we do meetings? What is the importance of meetings, right? Why do we want to meet people with an aim and agenda? I don't want to do it. I don't, it's just, a piece of work. But it doesn't happen like that. We need to understand that there are opportunities that needs to be flourished. There are team members who might be going with in and out of certain problems. There might be team members who require your support. There might be team members who require, you yourself could be the team member who requires a kind of motivation and inspiration to exchange different ideas. You might have great ideas and you want to share it with people, but they are not, wherever we are working in an organization, whenever we are working in a corporate sector, right, we need to understand that there is a hierarchy that is followed, right, and that we have already done earlier. So you need to follow and understand that, and therefore this is a collaborative platform for everyone who comes from dignitaries, that is for the higher authorities, and at the same point of time from people at your own level and people who are below you. So therefore, it is a connection. It is a web of network that we are developing through meetings, and that is why it is more important to collaborate on collaborative platforms, right? Uh, Again, we need to understand another factor of meeting is that it is a structured communication. It cannot go haywire. If meetings are often followed, over here it is written, meetings are often follow a predefined format and a structure to ensure productivity and focus. So then there are meetings, which goes on for a longer period of time, and there is no break, there is no refreshments, there is no, again, the way, the format of speaking certain things, right? There is no agenda that is delivered. There is no there will be a purpose. So every talk that is said would be connected to things that are happening in the organization and institute. So the talk is relevant, but at the same point of time, if it is not structured, then it is not called as proper meeting. Okay. So we are going to see the meeting etiquettes and various other things, but however, this is for you to understand that whenever there is a meeting, there is a clear agenda, there is a work task to be done, allotted, and there's all of these actions that are required to be taken. There is a purview of certain things that is given, and at the same point of time, it is all rounded, into a proper way that the meaning is served, the meaning of the gathering is served. So it is not a delineation of your own thoughts. Okay, I think that it is like this. No, you cannot think. It has to be like that. And if you have an idea, the idea must suffice. It should not be the idea that, okay, I want to start running a business, and with my business, I will profit this organization. And there are going to be haywire things, right? There are going to be random, thoughts that are gathering. But at the same point of time, molding all of those, and if your aim and agenda is like that, you can produce. Yes, definitely ask team members to give different ideas, but at the same point of time, you need to structure it productively so that everyone who is part of this becomes part of this meeting, becomes a good contributing member of these meetings. Okay, so that is a key feature that we need to identify. Again, it is a structured communication. So it is, yes, definitely a relevant talk, but with relevance, it is, having a particular form. So it will start with somebody, it will end with somebody, it will ask for contributions from people around in the meeting. It will, give delineation of the task to be allotted, a lot of things, right? And instructions, format, and all of it will be there. So it has to go in order, one after the other. It cannot be random. Okay. Then it has facilitate alignments. Okay. Meetings, they help ensure everyone in those who are part of this gathering is involved in the meeting and is on the same page regarding the goals, progress, and challenges that are being talked about. So again, it is about purpose, it is about what you are aiming, but at the same point of time, important thing to understand over here that everyone must be on the same page. So there will be few things that will be known to few people, there will be few things which are not known to people, and not based on assumptions, not based on self-known or commonly known knowledge you speak, right? You have to start, you have to give things, put them into alignment, that this is why this particular meeting is, and that is why agenda giving is a key feature over here. Okay, if we fail to give agenda, we are going to fail ultimately the whole purpose of the gathering, this formal gathering of the meeting. Okay. So therefore, it is to ensure that everyone is also involved. Now, two different parts of the same third point is important. That is, everyone being on the same page and everyone being a part of the meeting, being involved. There will be meeting, right? Again, I'm going to, give you examples of the meetings which are wrongly done. We will know about the etiquettes in the, further slides to comes, but we need to understand that there are going to be meetings wherein only the authorities come and, they dedicate their whole time in, giving instructions and giving leveraging tasks to people and talking and speaking and shouting and mumbling and I don't know what, right? So at the same point of time, the others who are listeners, those who have come for this formal gathering, they might understand everything that the person is saying, but they are not given the chance to speak back. So therefore, please ensure that you give appropriate time towards questioning, and that is why again the upper point, the structure of communication is also very important. It should not be one way, it has to be two ways, and if it is a gathering, it has to be a smooth gathering. It has to involve people, right, in terms of their understanding. It must be involving people in terms of their contribution. It must be involving people in terms of the openness to give comments on certain things. Okay, so only then I believe that combination of these two will help, complete the purpose of the meetings. Otherwise, we meet people in day-to-day lives, right? We meet people while crossing the paths on roads, right? We meet people, our friends and family members, right, every day. But not every one of us are, talking in the structured and proper, alignment manner. And that is why these meetings are very different than the others, right? So we need to understand that and we need to keep that in mind. Last point is occur in various formats, right? Again, there are going to be different, types of meetings. We are going to see that as well, but we need to understand that these are the key features. That has a particular platform, it has a particular structure, it has an alignment with all the members who are part of this meeting, and it occurs in a particular format. Okay, the format might change based on the type of the meeting, but meeting can be in person, in virtual, in hybrid, in many various size and frequency depending on the purpose of it. Okay, so the core key line, key word on this particular page is understanding the purpose of the gathering. If we understand the purpose of the gathering, then we are definitely free to vary different formats or the modes in which we are going to do this meeting. Many meetings can be done online, many meetings can be done only in person. Few meetings are done in both the ways, hybrid mode, right, when it is difficult, and with modern technology that has thrived, we need not to worry about it. But what we need to do is we need to ensure that the things are happening as and how. So then, when we say that a lot of things are dependent on the purpose is again identified as the agenda of why. The very first question, why are we meeting? Why is this gathering sitting? Right? And then, if you know, then there could be a various ways to understand and, to be a part of it. Okay. So the very first is decision making. Okay. We gather in a group at a formal place at a organization level to make decisions. Now, not all of these, depending on which type you need to understand, right? The format, the structure of the format. If it is decision making, it cannot be one way. This is what I think, and this is why I declare the decision to be so and so. If it is a meeting, we need to involve participation of multiple people. We need to understand if it is decision making, it cannot be every member of the organization, right? There might be 500 people, there might be 600,000, or even less, 50 people, but not all of those could be a part of this. So this has to be targeted to certain audience. This has to be targeted in a particular format. The structure has to be according to that way, right? And at the same point of time, we need to understand that if it is not decision making, it is problem solving. So now again, not everyone in the organization or the company that you are working in or you will be willing to work in would be involved in the problem. So it is again audience specific agenda, that is problem solving. Again, it could be a problem that is faced by the organization at the whole, right? An external factor which is going to affect everyone. Then again, there has to be multiple, smaller number of meetings combining together with a huge audience to be addressed together. So therefore, it has to be meetings can be done in parts and parcels. It could be done in process. At the same point of time, it is not necessary that, just you doing one meeting will be able to give you decision, or will be able to give you resolutions, or will be able to solve the problem. Okay, so that is also very much important. Information sharing, right? Information sharing is basically one authority. This comes in the time of meetings wherein authorities or the higher level of dignitaries would share a longer period of time in the meeting comparative to those who are involved. So everyone who are part of this meeting, not all of those will be given equal chance to speak, but at the same point of time, even when all of them are given equal chance to speak, not given the equal time period to be spoken. So this is more, dignitary or authority-oriented meeting wherein a piece of information is delivered, tasks are delegated and allotted to people. So this is called as information sharing, right? Again, it is strategic planning. Then there are certain fulfillment of the tasks that are required to be done. So the meetings which are there, right? The agenda is, if it is strategic planning, then there are meetings, there are gatherings which are done accordingly. Again, it will have a different scenario. The ambience of each meeting room would be different, right? Some meetings can be done in the boardroom, some meetings can be done on the table, round table conferences, which we call, right? Some meetings can be done, with a technology. You require presentations to be made, you require discussions to be done, you require, resolutions of multiple things, posters, this, that, and that is how we plan up certain things to be coming, right? It requires a lot of backend data, and more of it, it requires a complete attention of every member who is participating. Now this will not be, I don't think that this will be a dignitary or authority based meeting. This will be more of the team group members meeting, right? So that is why it is there. Then again, there are team buildings also. So you just come, sit together, discuss an idea, not necessarily a problem, not making a decision or not an information to be shared. Over here, the basic purpose over here is to get to know each other, right? Make a profound connection of the thoughts that we have, share common, ideas, and, align with people in the team. So therefore, the working progress, right, goes out to be more smoother than anything else. So that is called as team building, right? Project updates. Now, when we talk about project updates, we need to understand that organizations, they have specific data in mind, and every data that they have, or every client, or every substance that they take, there are regular updates to be made on it, and only then the functioning of the organizations go smoother. And these gatherings, where group of people would come together, update on certain things, would be the project update kinds of meeting. Okay, then we have training or knowledge sharing. Now, training or knowledge sharing basically comes again over here, role of, similar to problem solving and decision making, the role of the authority would be higher than comparatively the members. But again, it will be requiring the active participation of the members. Maybe the dedicate, one who is addressing the meeting, right, is catering the training, would be speaking for a longer period of time, but the structure has to be as such that it provides the space to, note down, jot down, take, practice actions or something like that when it comes to training and knowledge sharing session. Okay. Again, it is very difficult to deal with
group of people who are already having a certain knowledge. And when this people who are having this specific knowledge already, they come in a place and then you need to address them, it is going to be a clashing scenario. At the same point of time, we need to understand that these are also very commonly used modes of meetings. Okay. Then we have conflict resolution. So there are two particular projects that are in line, so then it's not problem solving, it's basically there's a certain clash, there is a certain clash of personalities, clash of projects, clash of ideas, and then there's this conflict resolution that takes place. So the purpose is again very different than problem solving, but however comes in accordance to it. There is feedback and evaluation meetings that are made commonly. This is a must meeting that all the organizations have. Okay, they tell you time to time, they'll tell you that this is how your work has been, and this is how we are addressing your evaluation of maybe the quarter, that is the 4 month, or maybe half yearly, or maybe the full, that you may say it's an about an update of the yearly evaluation that is made. But every member of the community who is part of any organization will have to attend the feedback and evaluation meeting. You cannot forego. आपको लगेगा कि you might think that you are just the newbie, you might not be a part of this meeting, that meeting, but a meeting that you will surely attend out of all of this, right, is going to be feedback and evaluation meeting. Again, a compulsion, I believe, that you will be attending the meetings would be the celebration meeting. Nowadays there's a trend to celebrate the anniversaries of the organizations, or maybe the foundations of day of the organizations, right? So these are the meetings that will be commonly involving all the members of the organization, and that is how it gives different agenda of the meeting. Now, moving ahead, we need to understand different types of meeting. Okay, the status update meeting. So when we said that it would be project update, the major purpose, right, of uh, coming up with this style is to share progress, updates, and current project status among the team members. Decision making meetings, they generally happen, right, to discuss the options and reach out a collective decision. So it is not just disclosing a decision in front of the whole gathering, but it is rather coming up to the decision together. So that is how important making the members of the meeting is. So again, problem solving meetings to identify, analyze, and resolve the issues, which are different types, are basically based on the different purposes, right? The aims of it. Agenda, we have seen that it could be many, and depending on those many, right, these are the different types of meetings, and not necessarily that it is only this much that we are having on the screen, right? These are just the major six types of the meeting that companies generally have, especially when we talk about your field, right? Computer applications, there will be a lot of stand-up meetings and status update meetings. Okay, the status update meetings, stand-ups meetings are basically quick meetings, 5 to 10 minutes, where everyone tells that what they have done on the particular day, right? These are the tasks that they have addressed, these are the tasks that they have seen, these are the conflicts that they are going through, and these are the things that they have performed. So a kind of a stand up, and every individual who are part of the same project would be able to give their inputs on the same, right? And decision making are basically the authority, as we have already discussed, the options to reach a collective decision. Problem solving and then planning meeting, right? Solving, it is to identify, analyze, and resolve. Over here, the meetings could run for a longer period of time than the status update meetings, right? The meetings could go for a day, could go for I don't know what, but until the problem is resolved, the things goes up and down. Planning meetings, right, to strategize and develop action plan for upcoming projects or events, right? To strategize, develop the action plan. Basically, planning meetings is done to organize an event, or to strategize the upcoming projects, and Therefore, there has to be a complete mannerisms of the meetings that are done. Brainstorming meetings to generate creative ideas, they are done. And the agenda, it's also, it is not called as brainstorming meetings, it is called as collectively coming. The title could be brainstorming, it gives you better clarity of idea, but however, it could be creative ideas or innovative meetings that are done for innovative generation of thoughts, right? So that is also part of it. And feedback and retrospective meetings, all of this, as I have told you, comes during the evaluation of the meeting, right? To review the past work, share feedback, identify areas of improvement and growth. So all of this evaluations and the stand-ups and decision making and problem solving meetings are very commonly known. These are the different types of meetings that generally happen. Okay. Now we need to move to the further slides of action tasks to be performed in meetings. Now, what are the action tasks? Right? When we say that these meetings happen, when we say that these meetings are the part of every individual who is going to be working tomorrow. Right? You work in an organization, you work in an institute, you work at a corporate sector, you worked in a local company, you work at an MNC. Every company, this is something that you cannot escape. So it is important. And when we say that all of the team members are given, all of the meetings will have this, right? Only few will not ask for participation, but majorly the meetings will ask for the participation. What do I say? There are many silent workers, right? Who work day and night, but whenever there's a time to speak something, they would think, oh, what will these people think? I might say something wrong, this might happen, that might happen. But meeting are the place that you will not be able to escape. You will have to speak, you will have to be a part of it. And at the same point of time, there are actions, tasks to be performed in the meeting. So its first task is to involve yourself completely and wholly and solely, right? Involve in terms of understanding, involves in terms of reciprocating to the agenda that is being there. At the same point of time, you need to also not just reciprocate in terms of speaking, you need to do something else ahead of it. And what is the action task? What is that we need to do ahead of speaking? Right? Speaking is the basic thing. With that basic, we need to understand to distribute an agenda ahead of time. If you are being a part of the meeting, well and fine. But if you are to, address the meeting, you are calling people so that you can, put forth your point, then these are the key things that are required. So therefore, the very first one says that distribute an agenda ahead of time. So whatever is the purpose of gathering, it has to be identified, it has to be, shared with people. It cannot be, simply calling, okay, tomorrow we have meeting at 10 a.m. and you need to meet. Right? Many times the meeting are not even mailed, not but just given a call on and said that, okay, there is a meeting at this, please come, right? And then there are these WhatsApp groups which are very frequently used by the organizations. And then the meeting is done at so and so place. What is missing in all the three examples that I gave? The missing portion over here is that agenda is not clear. The purpose of meeting is not clear. It seems more of an order. And when the agenda, why is it important to give the agenda? It is important to give the agenda so that the people who are coming to the gathering knows if they need to take a prior documents to the meeting, if they need to be prepared for what they have to speak at the meeting, if they need to have an idea well in advance, they can brainstorm, right? So all of these different tasks are there. And therefore, at the same point of time, it is the very first step. If you're addressing the meeting, you are calling people to be together, we need to share the agenda or the purpose or the objective or the aim to do the meeting very clearly in the very beginning, right? So ahead of meeting, sorry. So meeting starts, and before the meeting starts, what time you are going to come and gather, and however you pass the message of meetings, right? Be it through mail, WhatsApp, or whatsoever, you need to clearly mention the reason of it. Have be sure the goals for the meeting are clear. A list of specific actionable items. right? Specific actionable items is whoever is being the part of the team or the meeting, they need to do certain, perform a certain task. They cannot be just simply there listening to, okay, this is a La La Land song and happening right there. Okay, it is not a journey, eventful journey or an enjoyment journey for people. Over here, things are basically goal specific, and everyone must be associated to that goal. Everyone must be given a part to play in the particular goal achievement, and therefore a list of specific actionable items must be designed. Okay, so if there's a meeting of celebration, we take, okay, so if we are taking the example of celebration of the company's anniversary, so how are we going to celebrate company's anniversary? A meeting on that. Okay, and that is the agenda, to celebrate the first anniversary of so and so company, right? It's a startup and it is blooming very well, and it is a nice turnover that you have got in terms of profit, and this is how you want to celebrate. So, what do you do? So you create a specific list of actionable items. Who is going to A, create the mails of celebration? Who is going to B, create the posters of celebration? Who is going to C, look out for different activities that we need to perform during the celebration? Again, D, while we are celebrating this, what would be the budget that will be required? What about the refreshments, food or lunch or dinner that we are going to use during the celebration? A lot of other things, right? So five things I counted right now, but at the same point of time, there could be many thing more. This is just apparent, right? There has to be more list that goes in and beyond the actions to be taken. So therefore, everyone is attached to the goal of over here celebrating the first anniversary, right? Keep the conversation focused on the goals. Use parking lot for off-topic conversation. Parking lot, again, this is a common reference that you need to put your topic aside for a certain point of time if you are very stressed, especially then where we know that there are problem solving or conflict resolution meetings that are done, right? So during those meetings, it is completely stressing. It is going to affect the individuals who are part of the meeting, and if it runs for a longer period of time, it might invite a lot of frustration as well. So it is important for us to understand, and at the same point of time, use the safe space of parking lot. You say that we are putting this problem at the hold right now. Try appreciating the things that people have done in meanwhile, right? Try speaking up a new topic altogether, saying that just to keep off the mind of people being part of this, I am aiming to do so and so, right? So therefore that again is a part of parking lot or off topic conversations are part of the meeting, though it is structured, though it has a specific purpose, but at the same point of time, when it is too long for a longer duration, if it is for complete problem resolution and conflicts, right, overnight meetings are run, then during those time it is important to take a nice safe zone for individuals. It could be together, taken, or maybe it could be individual parking lot that we think of, but at the same point of time, these are also actions to be taken. This could also be a quite an action to be performed and taken during a meeting. Then okay, this seems very important. The next point says that we need to take notes yourself, even if someone else is, right? So, what does this mean? Whenever there's a meeting that is going on, a session that is being taken, a purpose that has been, discussed or suggested, you need to understand to make notes. Okay. You need to start taking notes. It is impossible for a human being to remember everything that is being said. And meetings, because they are with a specific purpose and a reason, meetings are to be taken notes of. It is very disrespectful If people are, fiddling with their phones, putting a earphone in the ears and, attending the meeting, they're not, people are just saying and saying things. A lot of people, other people are involving, but you would roll over your eyes, you would just sit, you know, uh, to be a part, physically present but mentally absent. That cannot be the case over here, right? So in classrooms, it was okay. While we are learning, it is okay. But while we are a working individual, it's completely not okay. Right. And therefore, this is highly taken note by the authorities as well. Who are the people who are taking notes? Who are the people who are, trying to give importance to what they have been saying? Who are the people who are well prepared? Because you taking up notes, you will require to take a diary, a pen, or take a notebook or whatsoever, right, wherein you will be able to write things. So therefore, it is important. And there are notes, people have started making use of notes in mobile phones to take notes as well. But can you ever, I my only question to those people who, are techno savvy, yes, techno savvy, but at the same point of time, can you ever match the pace of writing and match the pace of typing? Which is going to be more faster? Definitely writing, right? You typing it down and you writing it down, your writing is going to be more short, precise. You can just draw linings, you can draw dots and connections. Whereas in typing, you will have to type everything. So therefore, next time that you try, be a part of a meeting, try take a pen, try take a book and note down the things that have been discussed by individuals and by the authorities both. And at the same point of time, not forget to note down your own thoughts and ideas also over there. Okay, so it is notes are a written record. Minutes के लिए होता है वो, right? It is for minutes of the meeting, that whatever has happened in the meeting, this goes like this, right? So therefore, you need to understand that taking notes is important. Then we have, sorry, distribute minutes shortly before the meeting. So, for which particular period of time, which particular minute is more useful, right? This particular first part of the meeting will be of so and so time. The second part of the meeting will be of so and so time. Third part will be of so and so time, or maybe the whole meeting is of particular time, right? So the time management, the minutes. Also matter a lot. But again, over here it says that distributes minutes shortly after the meeting, and that is time management is one thing, but minutes over here is minutes of the meeting, taking notes that I was speaking about, right? The written records, all of those need to be filed with the number of members who are present, number of members who are absent, numbers of members who are totally participating, number of members who are given their inputs, and every other detail of the meeting that is there has to be put on a written paper record. This could be typed, this could be handwritten, but at the same point of time it has to be a document, right? Clearly identifies any action items along with due and who is responsible for it. So it's kind of a follow up. Okay, in this meeting, this is what we have discussed. So in every class, you remember we going to summary, right? Similarly, minutes of the meeting is the summary of the meeting that is there, and it's an actionable task. Similar to how an agenda is delivered before the meeting, this distribution of minutes is after the meeting. So before, after, and during the meeting, all of the three things that we have already covered over here. Right? You need to understand that distributes minutes shortly. It should clearly identify the action items along with who is responsible. Start on time, end on time, time management, we already knew, right? So these are the key things that we need to take care of. When we talk about meetings, when we talk about, how these meetings are crucial, again, something that we cannot escape, we need to understand that, involvement of us being an individual plays an important role in a meeting as such. Are we the one who are going to make the decisions? No. But whatever we say, is it going to be important? Yes. Who is listening to you? Is the authority alone listening to you? No. there are going to be, you know, listing that is going to be done at the same level, that is going to be done at the level who is below to you, or it is going to be communication and you know, delivery that will be noticed by the authorities as well. So there are high chances, you need to understand this very clearly and carefully, that you know, your participation is what the meeting is for. So generally people have this misconception that meetings are done only for the sake of, you know, attending what others has to say. But over here, the action task to be performed in the meeting says that you have to be an active member of the meeting, and only then the purpose of the meeting is served. बाकी कोई भी agenda हो, be it problem solving, be it you know, any agenda of decision making, any agenda of sharing the information, agenda of other things, right? But the point is, if you as an individual who is not going to participate, the meeting fails. So therefore, it is important for us to be a part of this and you know, contribute to, rather just not be a part of it, but contribute to whatever is being you know, said in the meeting, whatever the purpose is served in the meeting. We would like to move towards the, you know, close and towards the summary. I hope that, you know, you give importance to why meetings are done, what the meeting is, and this particular session has given you a clear idea that it is not only about the authority, it is not solely about you, it is the club of, you know, place or gathering that is going to serve everyone, participating everyone, and including fulfilling of the purpose that is made. So, moving towards the summary.
Finally, after learning all the actions to be taken, right, it is the time to have and learn the summary of what is the takeaway of today's session. So what we have learned is basically the group of people coming together with specific purpose and addressing the ideas or concerns or roles and etc. Various other kinds of things that are there to deliver, right? A message to that is there to deliver. So that kind of, you know, gathering, especially at a professional place, I would here want to place, right, is called as meeting. Again, we need to understand that there might be different agendas, as we have discussed, to consider, to purposely, you know, put apart, to report, to various other things. So what is the agenda of the gathering matters a lot. So agenda is the combination of the purpose and the objective that would combinedly bring the different scenario of the meeting altogether, that will choose the type of the meeting that is to be addressed. So therefore, it is important for us to know that there are various kinds of, you know, agenda, and at the same point of time, it is important for us to know that you know, all meetings are held in variety. So therefore, there might be different agendas in the organization that are required to be addressed. Different types of meetings are arranged keeping in mind the different purpose and objective to be delivered. So yes, all the different types of meetings that we have seen, the conference meeting and this meeting, you need to understand that they vary based on the objective and the purpose as discussed. It is crucial for us to follow the codes and conducts of the meetings and take actions as per the call, right? So when we are a part of the meeting, we need to understand certain things, and the very ground level of you know, etiquettes that people have in the meeting room is to be very alert and be very aware. Apart from being alert and aware, there are various other, you know, combinations of etiquettes to be followed. Hoping to see all of those etiquettes, the codes and conducts, the unsaid rules, right, or maybe the guidelines to follow into a meeting in the next session. So hoping hoping that this particular session has helped you to build the very ground of what meetings are and why meetings are held. At the same point of time, we have learned the varieties of meetings that are available in hand. Now is the time that we have learned all of this foundation. We will move to what meeting etiquettes are in the next session. Thank you so much for holding your patience throughout the time, and keep your spirits high for the next session. Thank you.